All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is part two of this man's story. Go ahead, tell him your name and where you from, man.
E from Farmington, Michigan.
All right, man. And the last episode, he pretty much broke down county and some pretty crazy war stories and going to the penitentiary reception and a little bit of who he was running with. And as I was doing the video, I was saying something to myself as I was editing it. And a lot of people kind of went along with it too. I was like, I knew I wasn't crazy, man. They said you look like a beefed up Eminem, bro. I swear,
Yeah,
man. I don't
that's
know
what
if
I
it was
heard.
the hat or the face mix. I don't know, but I thought that too. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I got a lot
No,
of
that's funny.
I got a lot of
Hey,
codees in the comment section agreeing with me. You know what I mean?
shit, I'll take it. I've heard worse, so I'll take that.
Yeah, it ain't really a negative thing. He dude's up there. But
Hell yeah.
let's see here. All right, man. So you left off. We were pretty much in reception when we left off in the last one, correct?
No, no, I was at MTU at the time.
MTU. That's what it was. Okay.
I just
Uh,
got popped for getting with old boy in the yard and shit, and they locked me down for 15 months. I had to do 15 months in the hole behind that one.
yeah.
Uh, so
Oh yeah,
from
that's where
MTU,
we ended. 15 months in the hole. How? Well,
yeah.
before we get into any further, man, how was 15 long months in the hole for you?
I mean that time it was rough. That was a
Yeah,
rough one, I
that's a
will
stretch,
say.
dude.
Because the thing is like you don't know, like they're not like, okay, you got 12 months to do, you got 15 months to do. You got to see basically like a board that every month, and they'll say like, okay, we either feel like you're ready to get out now, or no, we're gonna give you another month lay down. So then
Yeah.
it's like you just every single month you're hoping you're gonna get out. You're like, all right, maybe it's this month, maybe this month, but they just keep laying you down. And yeah, that 15 months was rough.
Over here in Virginia, it's the same way. You got to wait for the board. It's called 90-day review, and then 90 days they tell you, about how long, and then I think you get another review. I can't really remember exactly because I was in there for quite a minute too, but you're just waiting, hoping, and praying that they say,
Right.
you know what, you can come out, man. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry we had a couple little popping sounds. I think y'all could tell in the beginning, so we kind of changed the audio around, so you might hear a little difference in his audio from here on out. But yeah, man, the whole is crazy. Waiting for those 90-day reviews and just hoping and praying that they release you. I mean, what did you do, mate? I mean, I know what I did in there to
Right.
kill time.
Right. There was,
I I
there wasn't
walked
too
down that
many
jank
things
like
to do,
this, bro.
so
I was like, I was sucked dry by the time I left out that jank.
like, man, there ain't nothing left, man. Ain't nothing left.
It's- you can come out there, everything comes out.
Right. Right. You're like, fuck it. At least I got one.
Yeah, you do so much in there, man. It's like you don't need no more alone time the rest of
Ever.
your bit, Yeah. All right, man. And those y'all, I'm not gonna get into detail. The real ones out there just been through shit knows, and I'm sure they'll leave it in the comments section. But all right, let's leave the depressing asshole, man.
Right.
Uh,
Thank God.
yeah, that place is hell, man. It's crazy. But okay, so where'd you go after that? They transfer you, I'm guessing.
Got out of the hole. I was in level 4 St. Louis. Got out of the hole. They immediately, obviously, put me in level 4 joint, which is 23-2. Like you get,
You mean
uh,
22 and 2?
yeah, my bad. Yeah. 22-2. And it's been,
25 hours in a day, I'd be rich.
yeah, and I'd be dead. Right. So, yeah. So it's like a 22-2. You get out for an hour in the morning, hour in the afternoon, something like that, 45 minutes. If they break a door on time. But, so yeah, they put you in there, but the rest of the day you're locked down in the cell.
Yeah.
So, when I first got in there, I had already known, some guys from the other spots I was at, but I was still relatively new into the penitentiary. I was probably about 2 years in at that point, somewhere around there, about a year and a half. Or no, I was over about 2.5 years in at that point.
Okay.
But
What was the name of this prison?
this is St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay, St.
Uh,
Louis. All right.
But so St. Louis is a regional, so they got a 1. At the time they had a 2 and then a 4. So like, you're either on the level 4 yard, and then they might transfer you over to level 2 or level 1 if you can make it there. But their level 4's probably got about probably 2,000 or 3,000 people on the compound. So it's a pretty big, it's a pretty big joint.
Yeah, and that's a higher level prison.
Yeah, right. So if you get sentenced to anything over 7 years, in Michigan, you're automatically going to a level 4 spot to start your time off.
Yeah,
so,
that's like in Virginia. I mean, I think it's 10. I don't know. It might be 7, but after if you get sentenced a certain amount of years, you're going to the mountains. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, most of the dudes are either there because they're messing up within the penitentiary, caught cases, whatever, or, up their level somehow or another, or they're just coming down with big bits. So you got a lot of young dudes there. So, they put you in a room, you're in there for 22 hours a day. Now, I don't know if I'm sure there's other dudes that have been in a situation where you locked down all day with a bunkie, but I mean, shit's going to end up happening. I mean, that's just how it is. And if you ain't
with the cellmate.
Yeah, with somebody else.
For sure. You start getting on each other's nerves, boy.
Especially if you guys ain't vibing. And in Michigan, there ain't no segregation between white and black, or they don't put Mexican with Mexican, or there is no. It's whoever they throw you in there with, you're in there with. So you might not be in there with nobody cool. In fact, at one point, I had this bunkie. I was in another level 4 joint, but I had this bunkie that I was running a little store, had a little bit of money in my room. I was making juice at the time. It wasn't in my room, but we were making juice, so we were making a little bit of money. And,
wine or alcohol for anybody that might not know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So he didn't have nothing, but we were cool every day. I cook up every single day. So I'm cooking up my meal at, nighttime. We got the stinger. I could make a 5-course meal with a stinger, so I got the stinger going. And we cook up every single night. I'll just show him love just because I'm not about to sit there and eat while, he's up there with nothing, just bogue. So we were all right. We jailed that way for about 4 months. And then, I started having, more and more stuff come in. And I told him, I said, look, bro, I said, if you want to get on, I'll help you. I'll tell you how to make juice, and, I'll show you how to do it. I'll pay for the stuff for you to get going. And then once you're up, just throw me some little money back in the future or whatever. I'm not, not even worried about it. It wasn't even like that. So he's like, all right, yeah. So I put the juice together for him. I make it. He just has to hold on to it in his area, but it's all his thing. It's all his money. He's going to hustle with that little money, get up, and then, whatever. So he can have a couple things. And this is him wanting to do this. This wasn't me. I just said, this is how I help you. So day comes, juice comes off. And he's like, oh man, I got to go to school. He was like, can you take it out to the yard? I'm like,
no, man, he's pushing buttons, man.
And I'm like, no. I said, man, I ain't taking it out to the yard, bro. I said, that's not you. I said, I'm not going to do nothing like that. At this time, I'm already on flops trying to go home anyways. Yeah. So I'm like, no, I ain't taking it out. He was like, oh, all right, whatever. Kind of had a little attitude, but didn't really say nothing about it. So I got to go out to yard anyways to handle some other business. So I step out, and it's like early in the morning. So I step out to go to yard. And as soon as I kind of just look behind me to see, because the cops come and crack each door, when you're level 4, they open each door at a time. They stand and walk as each inmate walks out. So I kind of look back behind me, and as he shut the door, I kind of see him kind of like smell into the room a little bit. So he opened the door back up, stepped in there, finds the juice, because it was bagged up, ready to go. And so he's like, finds the juice. My bunkie comes back, ends up tripping, right? He's like, man, that's why I asked you to take it out, this and this. I'm like, bro, I said, first of all, man, leave that shit alone right now. Whatever. I was talking shit. We were both talking shit, but nothing happened. So we both go to sleep that night, and I'm sleeping through the morning, right? He gets called up to the front desk. They give him a class 1 ticket. Now, class 1 is probably the worst ticket you get. That's the one that can affect you, with the parole board and shit. We're both on flops. We both got about the same amount of time in. So he comes back into the room, and we got these little round plastic stools, right? And I'm asleep. We got these little round plastic stools. So as soon as he comes in and kicks it, he's on some aggressive shit. I was kind of asleep, but you hear the door open. So I immediately jumped up. We start fighting. Boom, 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 boom. So we scrap maybe just a couple seconds, couple little hits, and he doesn't get knocked out or faded, but he just kind of slumped against the desk. Yeah, so I'm like, man, what's going on? He's like, oh, I got this ticket because of you, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, I wasn't even trying to hear anything. So we start scrapping again. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, catch him. knock him down. Right now he's in the corner up against the door. So I'm on top of him, and I'm like, I don't hit him again. I'm like, bro, you're gonna hit that button, because we got like emergency buttons that you can hit. If you're like your bunkies, like, or whatever. If you got issues in the room, you can hit them. And sometimes
does it have a little intercom on it too, like a speaker?
Sometimes they do. Most of the times they don't. Like in the older ones, they don't. It's just like a little, just a tiny button.
Yeah. A lot of people think when I tell them about the cells I've seen that have them, people are like, man, what kind of prison you in? It doesn't mean it's a soft ass prison. It just means, hey, they got different technology, man.
Hey, I'll tell you, you know what? Speaking on that, it's crazy. The first joint I went to, Bellamy Creek, I go in the room and there's no light switch. So I'm looking around like the room. I'm thinking like, well, how you turn on? There's just this little like knob. It looks like a little door stopper, and it was like you touch it.
You just
and, and it turns the light on. It was like I never even seen anything like that in the streets before.
Yeah, look, before you get forward with the fight story, man, look, I seen a cell just like that too. I was so bored that I was seeing how soft I could touch it with it coming on. I'm like, damn, that thing's good. That thing is super sensitive. You right there, exactly. Like you about to do some foreplay or something, man. You know what I mean?
You said you're so bored. You see how? Like, I feel you, though. Like, I would have probably done the same shit.
Yeah. All right, man. So you got him slumped in the corner. That shit's too funny, man.
Yeah. So this dude, and like, mind you, we're about the same age, man, and we were all right before this. So, like, I got him slumped in the corner. I know he's mad because, like, he's looking at at least another year behind it. And so I'd feel the same way. But still, it's like, it wasn't my fault. So I got him in the corner. I'm like, all right, man, you're about to hit that button. He's like, yeah, I'm going to hit it. And I knew in my mind, I'm like, man, I should not let this dude up right now. And I did anyways. And as soon as I let him up, start swinging again. So he catches me, cracks me, right? Immediately my nose, and I've had my nose broke like 3 times, but this is probably the 3rd time that it's been broke. So immediately my nose starts bleeding. And if you're like fighting and you start seeing yourself bleeding a lot, like you kind of think in your head like, yeah, this, I got to keep going. There's no question, but this also might not be good.
Yeah,
but
I might just lose this shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know I shouldn't be bleeding this much, but, like, what choice do you have? So you just got to keep going. So we keep going. And mind you, like, we're getting into these little tussles, and the cops make rounds every 30 minutes. So by this point, I'm leaking, and the cops are making rounds, right? So I'm like, get up on your bunk. I'm going to get on my bunk. So we get on the bunk. So we just sit there, and then the cops walk by. They don't say nothing. They don't even really look in. So then after that, we jump back off the bunk. Like, all right, what's up? Let's do this again. So we start scrapping again. This time I catch him, drop him. He got a big old stupid knot on his head. So now, I mean, it's like lumped up like a softball. So it's not unnoticeable. So now, same thing happened. We scrapped for a couple minutes. Cops walk by. We're looking out the window. Cops go back by, scrapping again. Next time I catch him, and his like tooth went through his lip. So now he's got like his mouth's bleeding or whatever. Now there's blood all over the room. There's puddles of blood.
Y'all battling for real, man.
I mean, this was over like 5 hours. Like we were in there. So there's pools of blood on the floor. I mean, like pools of blood. There's blood splattered all over the walls. I got white tennis shoes on. There's blood all over them. So this last time this cop walks by, I threw a towel over one of the pools of blood on the floor. That was the biggest one. And I got my feet on top of it, trying to like not show it soak through. And he walks by and he kind of like barely glanced in, and then he like stepped back. He was like, hey, so he was like, everything all right in there? I'm like, yeah, everything's all right. He looked at my bunkie. He was like, everything all right in there? And my bunkie didn't say anything. And then I see him kind of like peer in the window, like he was like motioning to him or something. So then he opened the door. He's like, all right, both you step out. So we stepped out. They cuffed us up. They take us up into the day rooms, locked the day rooms down. It was just us two in there in separate ones. And they came and asked him. They're like, what happened? And I guess, well, he told them like he fell off the bunk or whatever. They came in there, asked me what happened. And I was like, yeah, I fell off the bunk too. So there wasn't nothing they could do. There was just blood all over the place, and they were just like, all right, so they moved him up out of there. But because of who he was, by them moving him up out of there, it looked like I put him up out the room, right? Yeah. So you know, of course they weren't, you know, his people weren't too happy about that.
Oh, so he was affiliated with someone too, or
Yep.
running
So
with someone. All right.
and mind you, we're on a level 4 block, so they're listening to all this happen all day
Yeah,
long.
that's what I was gonna ask you. I was like, that's probably how you knew the police were coming. People knew y'all were fighting and was kind of giving y'all a little heads up, maybe
Yeah,
saying some kind of call or something like that. Because
Yeah.
when
No,
we were
they
fighting, man, yeah, there would always be someone saying, you know, whoop whoop or police, and we would stop for a second and go back to it when they go.
Yeah, and usually a level 4, block's pretty loud all day. At nighttime they keep it pretty quiet, and it was dead silent all day long. They were just listening to us, you know, in their bang all day. So
Y'all were the entertainment for the day, man.
yeah,
I would have been like, ooh, bro, what the hell?
that's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Hey, so they ended up putting him on the other side of the unit. Now we don't go to yard with the other side of the unit. You don't ever see them really. I mean, once in a while you'll see some people, but generally you're separated. I mean, it's like you're with your rock and the rock above you, and that's it. So they put him on the other side. So I'm walking. Me and my homeboy Diablo are walking we're walking to chow. You know, they break us for chow that night. And, you know, we were already on game. We already knew what time it was. But a couple of his dudes pulled up on us. They were like, "Hey, E," they were like, "Show up at yard tomorrow morning." And our morning yard was at like 6:30, something like that. I'm like, all right. So me and my dog go back, whatever. We had.
I mean, did they say it in a hostile way? Like,
I mean, it was just like just be at yard tomorrow. Like I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was anything hostile or anything like that. It was what it was. I mean, there wasn't. You know, it was kind of just like be out of yard tomorrow morning. Like, all right, you know what time it is. That's how. That's how I took it.
Yeah, just a kind of militant. You know what time it is type shit.
Yeah, just be out at yard. All right, yep, I'll be out there. And it was just at that time, it was just me and my homeboy. We were the only, two guys that we messed with. It was just me and him, and they were a bigger organization. So I'm like, all right. So that night I go pack all my stuff up. They put a new guy just came out of the hole in my room. It's a cool little young dude. And, I'm kicking it with him and talking to him. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm packing up all my stuff. Just make sure that, police take it with them or whatever. Just make sure they don't mess my stuff up.
Yeah.
So that night comes. The next morning I wake up, and at the time, Michigan, they would let us get razors, right? Razor blades, like to shave with. So, like, man, everybody was doing the $150s, like slicing neck and face and all that. So, I wrapped a piece of a towel around my neck. It was wintertime, so I wrapped a piece of towel around my neck and flipped my jacket up over it, because I'm thinking, like, I could survive a slice to the face, but to the neck might be a deadly hit right there. So I wrap my neck up, go out to yard. Me and my homeboy are standing there. We see them grouped up. They sent one of their dudes over, and generally I wouldn't have went, but I just stepped forward. It was just me and my one bro, so I was like, I'm gonna take this. So I go up, I walk up to him, and it's a dude that I had been locked up with like years before when I just first came down. Little young dude, we were both young, came from the same county, came from whatever, and he was their little head of security, whatever. He was like, E? I'm like, what's up, man? He was like, oh, you're the one they're talking about. I said, yeah. He was like, oh, don't even worry about it, bro. You're good, man. He was like,
damn right.
Slid right by. Slid right by. He's like, don't even worry about it. I'm like, bet.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
and it ended well, huh?
It ended well. You know what's crazy, though? So about this particular situation was that I was at level 4 there, and I ended up catching a parole. They sent me to this like little boot camp program, which I ended up getting into another fight there 2 weeks from the door. After doing the 7-piece, so I was like 2 weeks from the door, or like about 6.5. I got into a fight. They kicked me back out, sent me right back to the same level 4 joint, all the way up north. I walk in, and they're like, welcome home, Pascalone. They send me to my room, and the door breaks, and the dude's, usually your bunkie will stick his head out to see what's going on, right? And it was the same dude that I had gotten into it with all them fights in the room. So it's like they were putting me right back in the room with them.
Damn.
So I walked down there, and they knew exactly. It was the same cop, same ran the unit. They knew exactly what time it was. So I had my bedroll. I walked down there. I just dropped my bedroll. I'm like, "What's up? Let's do it." And he was like, "No, man, I ain't, it ain't even that serious. I don't want no problems." We ended up jailing together for like another 4 months. Yep.
Damn, were you on edge a little bit, not knowing what was gonna happen for first week or so? Or it was just one of those situations where you're like, yeah, this shit is dead, you know?
You know what? It was either like, yeah, it's dead, or yeah, like we both got into it. We both kind of, got messed up a little bit. We both messed each other up. It was like, we'll do it again, I guess. So there really wasn't no animosity. It was like, whatever. It is what it was. A lot of people be like, oh, man, I'd never go, back in the room. But
oh, yeah,
the truth is, like, I mean, I feel you on that, too. Like, I'm surprised I did as well, to be honest. Yeah. But, I mean, it was what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You were telling me a story. You were talking about St. Louis. This wasn't St. Louis, correct? This was just some different time?
This was, yeah. I was just talking about
before someone gets lost or anything, before you jump back into St. Louis.
Right. Yeah, so St. Louis, I was there. That's really where I started hustling, like, tickets. I started, like, the gambling tickets. Like the football, basketball, or whatever. Yeah. I had a homeboy that put me up on that. So I started, there was about 8 units on that compound, and we ended up having a ticket in every unit. Running the tickets, I mean, you're always going to run into, issues, especially being a young white dude running, a ticket on a compound and having one of the bigger tickets. I mean, that was, always my thing was like, after that, every joint I went to, I always opened up a ticket. But where it starts at is like, these guys, like, they don't want to see you getting money like that, because a ticket is like, that's a little start of a little bit of hustle. I mean, you could kind of really get into anything after that. You got to have a little bit of money to back it. But so my first bunkie, got into the room with them, started, running a little ticket here and there, having a couple items come in, and just hustling or whatever. And we were cool at first. Everything was cool. We were running a little store together. His friends needed some, they could borrow it. I'd have it. He could borrow it to him or whatever, vice versa. Then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, it just got dead silent. And this dude was like a bigger, cockier. And at the time, I was probably, like 20, 21, still skinny. So it's quiet for like a week. So then, there starts to build a little bit of animosity up. Like, you don't know what the issue is, but I'm not about to be the first one to say anything. Like, if you got a problem, you say it to me, I guess. I mean, what do you do? So 2 weeks go by, we don't say anything to each other. Then just out of the blue one day, one afternoon, I get a knock on the bottom of my bunk. He's like, ding, ding, ding. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, it's time to go. I'm like, what do you mean it's time? I said, I ain't going nowhere. He was like, one of us are about to go somewhere. And mind you, this is the type of dude that's got like garbage bags on, like running on the yard, like doing sets.
He's getting it in. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing like sets of 40 pull-ups and just like,
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, like I ain't got a choice here neither. So he jumps off he jumps up. He was on the bottom bunk. I was on the top. So he jumps up and he squares up. I'm like, man, throw a towel up in the window, like in case anybody walks by or whatever. So he throws a towel up in the window, and I jump off the bunk. He's like, all right. He's like, go ahead and he's like, take the first shot. And it's like someone's telling you to take the first shot. It's like, this dude's really just trying to give me I'm like, all right. So I take a shot at him, boom, boom, hit him with the 2-piece. Dad does nothing. It just like bounces off his forehead or something. After that, it was like,
oh God, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, look, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen. So after that, it was all knees and elbows. I'm up, up under the bunk, just getting kneed in the head and shit. And like, I'm like, all right. So he like gets up. He's like, you're gonna get on. And this is like super on in my bed. And I'm like, yeah. So I look up to my lock, right? So I look up to grab my lock, and he sees me look up at it. And he's like, oh, hell no. And he grabs it, because I'm like still getting up. He grabs it and throws it on top of my bunk. He's like, ain't none of that. I'm like, oh, shit. So I just started firing on him again, and it was like the same thing over again. The second time, though, the cops were walking by, and they saw – well, no, the second time, the cops were walking by. Somebody yelled on the rock. So they're already on point about what's going on. So he jumped on his bunk. I jumped on my bunk. They came by. I saw the room was all messed up, pulled me out, took me to like the whole area, didn't put me in the hole, it took me in like the shower area. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, what do you mean? I fell off the bunk. Like at this point, I got like 2 black eyes coming on, and like, you know, I'm not messed up, but I was kind of messed up. So he's like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. He's like, come on, just, you know, let us know, like, you know, just tell us, you know, that he beat you up or something like that. I said, man, I told you I fell off the bunk. And I mean, they were trying to grill me for like 10 minutes, and they were pissed. I mean, these are all like country ass, like, you know, white dudes. They're trying to get me to like, you know, be like, come on, buddy, you know, that type of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I fell off the bunk. So they couldn't do nothing. All they had to do was move me out of the room. So they moved me out of the room, put me on another rock, same unit. So of course you go into another rock and you got 2 black eyes, like automatically people are gonna be like, you know, like, dog just got messed up, right?
Yeah. I
But
tell people that's like one of the worst ways to go into.
Yeah, I mean, to ride in somewhere, you never want to ride in like that. So I get over to this new block or whatever, and just so happens one of my big homeboys from MTU that, you know, knew me there, he just happened to be on a rock. This big dude. He's like, man. He was like, I'll just let everybody know right now not to mess with you because of them black eyes. I'm like, all right. I said, all right.
See, you got you locked up on that one too, boy. You know? That's crazy, man.
Hey, listen, you can't be no fighter if you never lost a fight, and I promise you, I live by it.
That's
100%.
Facts, man. And you know, people will love you even more just because, you know, that's how it is, man. And
That's
a lot of
is.
people will come on to this show in the past or in the future, and they won't acknowledge the scarier moments or the harsher moments where they, you know, they got beat. You know, they just like.
I mean, it happens. You know?
I mean, you can go watch any freaking mainline fighting organization, man. The best falls, and that's why I've never really gotten into too much fighting, because there's always gonna be someone out there who's gonna knock your ass out. You know what I mean?
I mean, I just got a hard head though. That's the thing. I can't help it sometimes.
Yeah, well, damn that damn dude, man. I'll tell you what. Just by your story, you said the damn punches went off his damn head like little.
I mean, it felt like they
shields.
just bounced right off, like big bang. I'm like, oh,
God.
All right. I looked at it like this, man. I knew my size. I knew who I was, and so I was like, you know, I ain't got to stand tall. I just got to stand up, and I just got to keep coming back. So
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's all it was, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from St. Louis, I dropped down to level 2. They dropped my level down. I was there for another year after I got out of the hole. So for like 2.5 years, I was there. Dropped down my level. I was in level 2, and as soon as I got into level 2, I just knew a bunch of people again. So, you know, I was always in the mix. You know, robbing, chomos and just, you know, whatever, just making juice, doing shit here and there, just trying to make a little bit of money, working out every day. So I ended up.
Hold on. I hate to stop you again, man. A lot of people think that when they see, you know, dudes with sex crimes, that it's all, you know, bash them and beat the hell out of them instantly. A lot of places I've seen too, they'll they'll let them live in a block and they'll extort the shit out of them.
Yeah, because most of them get money. They're people like think it's like a mental issue or some shit. But whatever, that's not on me to decide. I just know what you're here for, homeboy, and I'm gonna need that. Yeah. As soon as they come on the block, like people are calling them out, like that's mine. Like, all right, that's us this time. You guys had the last one.
Let me get a turn, damn it. Let me get something for once. Let me eat.
Right, you're right. That's mine. Let's go that in. But so, I mean, you know, you catch wind of one or whatever, and you're like, man, he's not about to be walking around here with no story. He's not about to walk around here with shit. If I can help it, I'll take everything from him and make him get on. Shit, we'll beat his ass, whatever. But of course, at the first, you're gonna try to extort him. Why not get some money out of him before it gets to him? Exactly. Yeah. You know? Yeah. That's how it goes, man. You know, if they can't get something out of you, then they're gonna get some. I guess they're gonna get some wreck out of you. You know. Yeah, we definitely don't want you around here, but we'll take something from you though.
Yeah.
So they shot me up north. I was downstate at that point, you know, which was kind of nice. You get visits and this and that, you know, when the people come, but. So they shot me way up north because all the guys started writing kites and telling, and you know, he's doing this and that. So they shot me way up north, like I think it was like 18 hours away from Detroit. I mean, it was a drive. So I'm up there and started doing the same thing again, just hustling or whatever, running poker tables, making a bunch of money. But the issue is, when I was up north, I was doing real well. But the issue was that as soon as you start doing well, you start getting real hot. And I was also young, so I'm still learning this as well. So I'm still trying to, I'm getting into fights here and there, and I'm getting out, and I'm doing the same thing I was doing right before I went to the hole. And it's not like that cops aren't on me at that point. So I'm steady getting like, little tickets here and there. It's upping my points, about to send me back up to another level. And I'm running a couple poker tables. I'm running a ticket. I'm the only juice man on the compound. I'm the only person getting tobacco in at the time. I'm running these poker tables, and it's me and a bunch of my homeboys and a couple random dudes. So and I'm gonna say this was shady too, but so we're dealing cards, and we got this one kind of off-brand dude at our table. So he's laying out winners.
I'm thinking about off-brand cereal I used to eat when you said that.
Yeah, that's basically like he just generally wouldn't be around, right?
Yeah.
So the cards are coming out, and the flop will come, and I could see that he's got a winner already or something like that, or like however it was, I could we were cheating him, so we were like messing the cards up, like no, all right, next hand. He's like, no, that was my pot. And then,
you scooped up the flop real quick or something like that?
Yeah, scooped the flop up, took the pot.
I've done that a million times. I'm like, all right, no winners.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell, bro? I had wheels. I had 5 aces. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh.
Hey, listen, that's exactly how it was, right? So he was like,
dang, man, that's crazy.
I did. So he was like, so I dealt the cards out again, and the guy messes the cards up. And I'm like, all right, man, don't do that again. He was like, no, I had a winner. I said, all right, well then either play or don't play, but don't mess my cards up after I deal them again. So I go to deal them again, and I almost get them all dealt out. What does he do? Messes them up again, slams his hand on the table and stands up. And as soon as he stood up, I jumped over the table on him. I was like, I start getting on top of him. Ooh, ooh. My other homeboy is behind him and jumps on him too. And he wasn't even playing cards. He wasn't even involved in the card table at all. He just jumped right on him. So my homeboy gets his little licks in, kicks him, and the dude's kind of like scrambling to get away, and I'm trying to grab him. So he's trying to get out of the door of the day room. He's like trying to scramble away. I got his shirt, and he goes to grab the door to get out of the day room, and this gay dude holds his foot to the door so he can't open it up at all. So I'm just sitting there, feet him in the corner. He's like right between the corner of the door. The gay dude's got his foot being held, and dude's trying to open the door hard. And then the police ran in there.
Damn, whatever, bro. Keep thinking they can't put in work. They'll put in a little work.
That's the worst thing you could think, man. I see a lot of them dudes could scrap. I'll tell you like this, in Michigan, it's not. I'm not gonna say. Listen, of course you got that from the time period that I was down though. You got a lot of dudes. You got most of the dudes. There ain't no. They're already sissies anyways. It's not like you ain't got to take nothing or this and that. These guys are trying to give it up anyway. So like they just chase them dudes around the yard.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. They get their little boyfriends and then they lock it in. And okay, so we learned another little thing about Michigan. That type stuff is kind of out there. A lot of states, they don't allow them to even walk the yard. So that's another good piece of intel for anybody that might be going to Michigan, man.
Yeah, damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. But, other states, man, they don't even let them walk the yard, man. So it's different. But, so you went home from this prison or what?
No. I was at – so